We come to you live from Miller Park in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's the final series of the 2018 regular season, and it's between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. The two best teams in the majors will square off next. Well, we have a lot of potential history on the line in this game today. The most important is Kris Bryant on the cusp of tying and surpassing Ichiro Suzuki's single-season hit total, which was set back in 2004. He comes into today at 261, so he's just a hit shy of tying that mark. And it's going to be Stephen Strasburg on the mound for Milwaukee. Haven't really talked about him too much. Doesn't matter, not important. As Jason Hayward will step in, we're about ready to get things underway. And the first pitch of the ball game is a strike, 0-1. It's been a very interesting last couple of games for the Brewers. Carlos Martinez threw the first perfect game in franchise history, and the second this season. It was actually a no-hitter thrown by Jimmy Nelson earlier in the season against the Marlins. It's 0-2 on Jason Hayward, the Cubs' leadoff hitter. He's had a solid season thus far. The 0-2 pitch is in the air to Central. That's Craig Ragland ranging in a couple of steps, and he's under it to make the catch. And that is their first out in the ball game.
Batting second here tonight.
And Kris Bryant, he's been battling flu symptoms the last couple of days, and he has not been able to play. As we take a look at the starting lineup for the Cubs, Jason Hayward just flew out the center. It is Frank Stankiewicz batting next, followed by a cast of baggers, especially that guy in the number 4 spot in the lineup. And here's the aforementioned Frank Stankiewicz, a legend in his own mind, wearing number 0, facing Stephen Strasburg, and the first pitch is a strike to the 58-year-old bag in real life. Here's the umpiring crew. Who gives a fuck about them? Strasburg always works from the stretch. Here's the 0-1 pitch to and it's sent in the air down the right field line. Lutz gives it a look, and it's going to get into the stands. Foul. And Frank the Stank is behind in the count quickly, 0-2. He's been a consistent bat in the top of the lineup. Not this time, though. He strikes out looking on 3 pitches, and Frank the Stank is gone. Well, you can still smell his breath, his scent to the dugout, but he's no longer standing in that batter's box. He's out. Anthony Rizzo, the number 3 hitter, will stand in next. You can see solid numbers. He's got 30-plus home runs, 298 average, 111 runs batted in for this Cubs team, and has won 105 games, and it's fouled down the left field line, 0-1. Strasburg looking for his 20th win this season. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Rizzo fouls another fastball off, and it's 0-2. That was in a similar spot as the last pitch. Will McBride calling the game for Milwaukee behind the plate. There's a sign, and the 0-2 pitch to Rizzo, changing the location and the speed a little bit with that changeup. Misses just outside, and it is 1-2 on Anthony. You have a sellout crowd on hand here at Miller Park Stadium Field for this final series of the 2018 season, as Anthony Rizzo strikes out swinging to end the inning. Cubs go down 1-2-3 to the bottom half of the first. It's Lutz, Ragland, and Braun in a scoreless game. Well, it's always a highly anticipated start when Norm Norman Jr. gets the ball. It's his 33rd start this season, coming into today with a 14-8 record, a stellar 2.11 earned run average, and 204 1/3 innings recorded on the mound, 223 strikeouts to go with it. So he is definitely a tough 42 to go against. He's got that old school windup, that Satchel Paige, Warren Spahn type windup, as Dusty Lutz, the leadoff hitter, will stand in for Milwaukee. and he will look at the strike. He's quickly behind in the count, 0-1. Here's the big windup from Norman, and the pitch is set in the air to right. That's going to drop in front of Jason Hayward for a leadoff single. So Milwaukee has their leadoff hitter aboard to start things in their half of the first. And now Craig Ragland will grab a bat, and he's going to hit. He's been in a little bit of a funk, but his season average will not really reflect that as he comes into today hitting an illustrious .414, 85 home runs and 180 runs batted in. It's just 11 RBI short of Hack Wilson's mark, set back in 1930, as the Vulcan changeup is low. Ragland has an outside chance of tying Ichiro's record, possibly Chris Bryant's here, even in this game, as he looks at a strike count is even at 1. Norman does not fuck around when he's on the mound. He works quickly out there, as that knuckle curve misses inside. He has a bevy of pitches, a Vulcan change, a knuckle curve, a two-seamer with a lot of break, and an outstanding slider. Having some command issues in this at-bat, as that pitch misses low, and he's behind in the count 3-1. Barely any time to set. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Ragland, and he sends one in the air deep to left field. This one's not going to carry enough, as whoever the fuck that is ranges it in. And that is your first out here in the Brewers half of the first. Just got under it. If he was hitting a little hotter at the plate, that would have been an easy home run, but Ryan Braun will stand in next, followed by Jeffrey the Reikarts. Chris Bryant, he's going to be the man of the hour. Can't script these things any better. Why do you think he's been out the last couple of days with a flu bug? He's going to break this record against his old team. Or will he? Ryan Braun stands in, hitting .356 on the season. That's no slouch at the plate either. There's the pitch to the long nose, and it's a strike. The Hebrew Hammer is just 2 home runs shy of 400 in his career. Like I said before the game, there are a lot of things to keep an eye on with this Brewers team. They already broke their record last season for win totals. They have 121 coming into this game, as Braun looks at a pitch low and outside. Count is back to even at 1. There's the 10th pitch of the inning for Norman, as it's fouled off. Lutz doesn't have much speed at first. Hasn't thrown over there yet. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and Braun tips it foul. That was a curveball that bounced in the dirt, but he somehow got a piece of it to stay alive, and will do it again. This is on the ground to short. It's a short hop, and it's going to be past Addison Russell into central for a base hit. You got to figure that's going to be ruled a base hit. That was a tough hop, and that's what they're going to rule it, as Ryan Braun has extended his modest hitting streak to 10 games. Not going to challenge Joe DiMaggio anytime soon, but he's been playing well, especially at the plate, as it's a lefty-lefty matchup, and Reikarts standing in and looking at a strike, a 97-mile-an-hour two-seamer with break. That is tough to turn around on if you're a lefty. I'm surprised he's in the lineup. Here's the pitch to Reikarts, and he follows off another two-seamer. Quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Braun at first, Lutz at second in scoring position. 0-2 pitch is just outside. Jeff Reikarts coming back to Milwaukee mid-season via trade. And this pitch is sent in the air and deep to left field. Back he goes, and that one is gone. A 3-run homer to the opposite field for Jeffrey Allen Reikarts. Puts the Brewers up 3-0 in the first. I believe that's Ian Happ playing in left field for the Cubs. Doesn't matter. The big boy with the big beer belly just hit one out, and the Brewers have an early lead in the first. 391 on the home run tracker for Jeff Reikarts' 52nd home run this season. Unbelievable. And that is no slouch of a pitcher to hit that home run off of. That was a tough pitch to turn around on, but as you take a look at the replay, he just mustered that thing out. That was sheer strength, sheer hip rotation to take that to the opposite field. It's a free souvenir, hopefully in the hands of a Brewer fan. And here's the man of the hour, Chris Bryant, standing in. Before the game, Ralph Nader bagged it in the Brewers clubhouse. He's been sick the last 3 or 4 days. It's kept him on the bench. And he is 1 hit shy of tying Ichiro's mark that was set 14 seasons ago. Here's the first pitch to the man of the hour, Chris Bryant, and it's a strike. Norman Jr., he's always poised out there. Even though he just surrendered a 3-run homer, he is most likely unscathed. As this one's sent up the middle, and it's through a base hit. Chris Bryant has just tied the record, number 262. You know he feels like shit out there, but he has tied the all-time Major League record. He now shares it with Ichiro Suzuki. A little dribbler past Frank the Stank into center field. Man, I'm surprised we're not seeing any graphic up there, but I know what I'm talking about. That's number 262. Unbelievable. As Will McBride stands in, he looks at a pitch low. It is a ball and no strikes. Norman has been laboring out there. Well, he is a 42 after all. There's the pitch, and it's outside. It's 2-0 now. He just can't find the strike zone. Against Will McBride. He comes in with 49 home runs. And the 2-0 pitch is on the ground. It's a diving stop by Franco to throw the Stank at second. And the return throw the Rizzo's in time for an around the horn double play. So the Cubs get out of the inning. But not before the Brewers get 3 runs thanks to Jeff Reichardt's bomb to left. And we can't forget that Chris Bryant just tied Ichiro's mark of 262. 3-0 Brewers as we head to the second. Take a look at this bagger. Joe Sterling standing in now. With a modest 268 average, 34 homers, and 92 runs batted in. He's been a thorn in the Brewers' side all season long. Doesn't have a particularly high average at the plate this year. It's just 268. It's respectable. It's low on the first pitch, 1-0. But a decent amount of his home runs this season have come off of Brewers pitching. As this one is sent into right field, and it's down and past the diving Lutz, and this is going to be rolling for a while. Into right field in the corner. Lutz picks it up. Sterling's around second, and he's into third with a triple. A leadoff triple. He is in the top 10 in the National League in triples hit this season. That is his 8th, tying Starling Marte and Ben Revere. That average is going to creep up a little bit higher, around 270, as the Cubs' third baseman Michael Franco stands in. Former Philadelphia Philly. That's actually his 9th triple for Sterling this season. I guess the stat tracker was not updated, so I apologize for that, as Strasburg works in the stretch and throws a strike to Franco. It is 0-1. Sterling is at third, and the pitch is popped up just in front of the plate. That's Will McBride under it, and he's going to squeeze the glove for an easy can of corn. That's out number 1. That pitch jammed Michael Franco. As we take a look at the defensive alignment for Milwaukee, it is Braun, Reglin, and Lutz left to right. Bryant, Terrell, Orlando Arcia, and Jeff Reichardt's third to first, with Will McBride taking the catching duties behind the plate for the Crew. As the Cubs shortstop Addison Russell will stand in. As we take a look at his 2018 splits, a staunch contrast between lefties and righties. He is below 210 against lefties and around 285 against righties. Here's the first pitch to him, and it's sent foul on the left field line. On a line, it's going to give the ball boy down there something to do. That is Sterling at third, and a 3-0 Brewer lead here as we play the second. Pitch is fouled off. Quickly behind on the count, 0-2 is Russell. Still a young gun out there at short, just 24 years of age. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a changeup, missing low. Tried to get him to chase after that one. Crowd has quieted down a little bit. They had a lot of things to get excited about in the first inning. Here's the pitch to Russell, and he sends it in the air down the right field line. We'll do it again. Both pitchers have been laboring so far. Strasburg not as much. Here's the pitch, and it's sent foul again down the right field line. Making for a long and boring at-bat. Staying alive out there against Strasburg, who is regarded as one of the best pitchers in the league. He's gotten paid for it. The pitch misses outside. Count is back to even at 2. So the 2-2 pitch from Strasburg to Addison Russell is popped up just behind first base. That's Jeff Reikarts to make the catch. No advancement from Sterling at third base, obviously, on a little infield pop-up behind first. Addison Russell is retired, and standing in is the former Brewer Jonathan Lucroy. Has an RBI opportunity 90 feet away, looking to break into the run column today as Lucroy looks at a strike. He came over to Chicago in that Chris Bryant trade back in 2016. It has panned out well for both teams as Lucroy has hit .320 this season. Entering tonight, he's behind in the count 0-2. It's a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from Strasburg. Not paying any attention to the runner at third. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Lucroy, and he swings and misses on a fastball right down Wisconsin Avenue to end the inning. So the Cubs get the leadoff runner to third, and that's it. Through an inning and a half here in Miller Park, it's 3-0 Brewers.
Leading off for the Brewers, the shortstop.
Darryl Terrell will lead things off for the Brewers in the second inning against Norm Norman Jr. He labored back in the first inning of this game. He threw 20 pitches, something that he's not accustomed to, as he throws a strike to Terrell. Things have quieted down a little bit here at Miller Park. It's still a sellout crowd of around 44,000. And pitch is a strike. It's 0-2 on Terrell, the Brewers shortstop. The 0-2 pitch is lifted in the air to left center. That is Sterling ranging over to his right to make the catch for out number 1.
Batting 8th, second baseman.
It's always exciting when these two teams get together. The two best teams in the majors are also in the same division, as Orlando Arcia, the Brewers' second baseman, will stand in for the first time. The Brewers have been playing a lot of their September call-ups as of late, but not today. The pitch misses outside to Orlando. It's 0-1. Or 1-0, I'm sorry. There's the 1-0 pitch. It's a strike on a Vulcan change from Norm Norman. He's working a lot more confidently here in the second. Things have calmed down as of right now. The pitch misses outside, trying to get Orlando to chase. He's been splitting time with Neil Walker over at second. They've been resting Orlando up for the playoffs. During last year's World Series run, Orlando was complaining about exhaustion late in that playoff run as he lines on the third. That's Michael Franco over there to spear that one. That's on number 2, and here's Steven Strasburg. He's had a decent season at the plate. 187 isn't bad for a starting pitcher. No home runs and 7 runs batted in. He's actually gotten a decent amount of at-bats, 75 this year so far, as he looks at a strike. It's going to be the final start for Strasburg in the regular season. There's the 0-1 pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. That's a tough pitch to take a hack at, even if you're a regular, everyday player, let alone a starting pitcher. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's a waste pitch just outside. Missed about 3-4 inches on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-2 now on Strasburg, but the base is empty, and the pitch is lined into right field, and that's a little 2-out single. A 2-out bloop to right. That was an excuse me swing out there. Keeps the inning alive, and he helps his own cause. So it was just an 80, well, I'm not saying just an 88-mile-an-hour knuckle curve, but he got jammed on that pitch and put enough strength behind it to drop it into the outfield. Lineup turns over again, and Dusty Lutz will stand in for the second time and look at a strike. Strasburg, the runner at first. with 2 down, and here's the pitch. Lutz sends one in the air to Central. This one is deep, but not deep enough as Sterling is there to make the catch to end the inning. So the Brewers get a base hit, thanks to Steven Strasburg, but that is it. Bottom part of the lineup due up for the Cubs in a 3-0 Brewer lead.
Leading out for the Cubs,
Michael Park
fielder.
is the Cubs left fielder in today's game, and he stands in with just a 200 average. He's a September call-up. It's a swing and a miss. No relation to Chan Ho Park or any other Park out there, or Steve Park. There's a swing and a miss. Strasburg quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. This guy looks absolutely clueless at the plate and in the outfield, actually. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Park sends one on the ground to Orlando Arcia at second. An easy play, an easy throw, and the leadoff hitter in the third for Chicago is retired. As we take a look at the league leaders in wins in the National League, dominated by Milwaukee pitching with Nelson leading the charge. He's got 21 wins. Strasburg second in the NL at 19. And the list goes on and on. Arrieta's got 18 for the Cubs. Fernando Luis, 17 for Milwaukee. We don't care about those Marlins baggers on that list, as Norman Jr. will stand in for the first time. Always looks a little nervous at the plate. It's a tale of two stories with him. Just so poised on the mound, but so nervous and unconfident at the plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's fouled off. Doesn't wear any batting gloves. He's old school. He just wants to get back in the dugout as soon as possible. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Norman, and he swings and misses on the inside fastball. He's been dispatched. There are now 2 down in the Cubs half of the third.
Right fielder, Jason.
Well, Strasburg knew that this is pretty much a gimme out. He just reared back and threw that fastball right past Norman Jr. to lead the way now for Jason Hayward, standing in for the second time. He's got an 0-for in this game. He flew out back in inning number 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jason Hayward, and that one is sent foul. He is now in his 9th season of play at the big league level. Broken back in 2010 for the Atlanta Braves. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's lined into right field, but Dusty Lutz plays it perfectly. Spears that liner, and that's going to retire the Cubs in the third. They get nothing. To the bottom half we go. It's 3-0 Crew. So Craig Ragland, the number 2 hitter, will get things going for Milwaukee in the third inning against Norman Jr. First pitch is low. In the second, Norman had a lot easier of a time getting through this Milwaukee lineup. His only thorn in the side was a little bloop single off the bat of Steven Strasburg, believe it or not. That's a strike to Ragland. It was a Vulcan change right down the middle of the plate. Here's the big windup, and the 1-1 pitch is tapped on the ground in front of the plate. That's Norman there to field, turn, and fire. And he retires Craig Ragland for out number 1. Take a look at the standings in the National League Central. Milwaukee has locked this division up long ago. But the Cubs are sitting 16 games back with 105 wins. Put 2 and 2 together. Either way, it's been a dominant season for both of these teams. That's what makes it such an exciting game whenever these two teams get together. And here's the first pitch to Ryan Braun. It's low. Ball and no strikes. Braun is 1 for 1. He singled back in inning number 1. And he's going to single again as he shoots one between third and short for a base hit. He's now 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And his batting average is creeping up to around 360. As you take a look at the National League batting average leaders entering play, it has been dominated by Milwaukee Brewers hitters, with Bobo Bowen sitting at the bottom of that list at 320. Now, Jeff Reikarts will stand in. He's been basically the entire offense up to this point. runs production-wise. He has been. He had a 3-run home run into left field, a rare opposite field shot for Reichart. First pitch is low, and now Norman checks on the runner and Ryan Braun. He's approaching 35 years old, so he's definitely lost a step or two. Not like he was that fast to begin with. As Reichart shoots one into center field for a base hit. Sterling picks it up off the bounce. Braun moves to second, and Jeff Reichart is halfway to the cycle in this game. A homer in the first, and now a single off of his lefty counterpart, Norman Jr. Norman generally does such a good job against lefties, but not today. Well, here's Chris Bryant now. He is 1 hit away from owning the single season hit total. He tied Ichiro back in inning number 1, and now has a chance to cement his legacy and own the record, as the first pitch is low and inside, 1-0. Norman, I'm sure he's got to be a little nervous out there. He's hoping for the double play. As this pitch is sent in the air to right, this is not going to carry, and Bryant will not break the record in this at-bat, as it's a flyout to Jason Hayward. No advancement from any of the runners, and that is now out number 2. Coincidentally, that was the 43rd. Actually, yeah, never mind. Here's Will McBride standing in. I was going to make a 42 reference, but it wouldn't have been true. McBride stands in now and looks at a strike. It's 0-1. And quickly 0-2 now as that two-seamer catches the top half of the strike zone. 2 2/3 innings pitched so far for Norman. And he gets his first strikeout as Will McBride goes golfing at that curveball to end the inning. So the Brewers get 2 base runners, but can't capitalize. We're a third of the way through this one. It's 3-0 Brewers. So, yeah, Frank the Stank will stand in now. He struck out back in inning number 1. The old rusty oil can, Frank the Stank. One of the most annoying personalities down in that Cubs clubhouse. Getting tongue twisted up here in the booth. Must be that Schaefer Light. Stank is behind in the count 0-1. Here's the pitch from Strasburg, and he looks at a strike, 0-2. He is definitely a rare personality. A guy that brags about having 33 cents in his bank account. Even though he's on a major league roster, he does not know how to manage his money. And he strikes out again. He doesn't know how to manage the bat either. Yeah is retired. Strasburg records another strikeout. As we take a look at the pitch sequence, a fastball on the outside part of the plate, a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and he changed the eye level again on the third pitch, and Frank couldn't get used to the pattern. No. He gone. Anthony Rizzo stands in. He's got an 0-for in this game. Base is empty. 1 down here in the Cubs half of the fourth. And that first pitch is a strike. Anthony Rizzo has been on the Cubs now since 2014. And he's going to break into the run column for his team as he drills one deep to right and gone. A no-doubter off the bat of Anthony Rizzo breaks up the shutout, and the Cubs have a run on the board. It is now 3-1 Brewers. An absolute bomb into the right field bleachers. Yeah, those Brewers outfielders didn't even bother looking at that one. Take a look at the replay. Using a lot of torque into that swing, an uppercut swing. That's alright though, the Brewers still have a 2-run advantage. Oh, well, looks like that ball hit some 42 right in the noggin. Hopefully he's alright down there. Maybe not though. Joe Sterling stands in, and he looks at a strike, 0-1. He's trying to break into the run column. He's got the pop to do so. He tripled back in the second inning. Lutz dove for a sinking liner, and it went right past him. as he sends one in the air to right again to his counterpart Lutz for out number 2.
Now batting.
So White Daddy is retired now as Michael Franco will stand in. 0 for 1. He popped out back in the second inning. Cubs have a run on the board here in the fourth thanks to Anthony Rizzo's home run. That pitch is inside. Catches the strike zone. It's 0-1. Franco is a bat that has kind of been lost in the shuffle in this Cubs lineup as he sends a foul 0-2. He was acquired in the offseason. The Cubs sent Jose Miguel Fernandez, their third baseman from last season, to the Yankees. 0-2 pitches lined to Reichart at first. He snags it, and the inning is over. But the Cubs break into the run column thanks to the one-out bomb from Anthony Rizzo. To the bottom half of the fourth we go. It is 3-1 Milwaukee. So Daryl Terrell will get things going for the Brewers in the bottom half of the fourth.
Terrell.
Speaking of goy, there are a lot of goy in attendance at every sporting event. They have no idea that these games are scripted. First pitch is a strike to Daryl Terrell. It's 0-1. It's Norman Jr. He's settled down out there since his rusty first inning. I apologize for the tongue twister again. That pitch is outside for a ball. And the 1-1 is a strike. It's 1-2 now. Terrell behind in the count. He's just 19 years of age in his second big league season. Little check swing. He wanted to go after it, but it was a good decision not to. That bounced in the dirt, so the count is back to even at 2 to the 19-year-old Brewers phenom shortstop Daryl Terrell. And this pitch is sent in the air to Central. Sterling arranging in a few steps. It's a can of cone. Terrell retired.
Now batting.
And now batting is the other Brewers phenom infielder, Orlando Arcia. He hasn't gotten as much playing time as the other regulars since he's been splitting time with Neil Walker ever since the Brewers acquired him. As Arcia is behind in the count, 0-1. I hate it when people call him Arcia. It is Arcia. It's like tomato. Pitches low. It is back to even at 1. Brewers with 7 hits on the board in this contest up to this point. 1-1 pitch is sent in the air to right. It's sinking, and it is just fouled down the line. If that would have been fair, there would have been no chance for Jason Hayward to field that one. Would have been rolling for a while, but instead it's 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch is sent in a similar location down the right field line. And it's foul, and we'll do it again. 1 down, bases empty. Strasburg due next, and this pitch is on the ground is short. Should be an easy play for Addison Russell, and it is. So 2 up, 2 down now in the Brewers' half of the fourth inning. And Steven Strasburg will stand in, who singled back in inning number 2. It is average creeping up to around the Euchre line now at 197. First pitch is low to Strasburg. Norman has settled down on the mound. Just 58 pitches now through 3 2/3. The majority of those came in the first inning. As Strasburg looks at another pitch low, it is 2-0. Norman Jr. having a little bit of an issue finding the strike zone in this at-bat. As that pitch catches the inside part of the plate, that was a questionable strike, and Strasburg agrees with me. Not happy with the call. As this pitch is tapped foul down the line. Norman fielded it, but it rolled foul. It's so tough to turn around the net Vulcan changeup with all that movement on it. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Strasburg, and he sends it on the ground to Rizzo, who charges it and steps on the bag to retire the side. Bag it. 4 innings complete here from Miller Park Stadium Field. It is 3-1 Brewers. While we play the top of the 5th here at Miller Park, it is Addison Russell leading things off for Chicago. Strasburg with just 43 pitches through 4 up to this point as he starts the 5th inning with a strike. 0-1. In the final week of the regular season. It's 0-2 now as Russell swings and misses. So just a couple more games for both of these teams to pad their stats. Especially this Brewer team. They have put up historic numbers on offense. As Russell sends one in the air to Central. That is Raglan. And he almost lost track of that one, but he made an adjustment at the very last second to reel it in. So Russell is retired. Jonathan Lou Crybaby will stand in now. Here's the first pitch from Steven, and it's fouled away. Jonathan Lucroy breaking into the majors back in 2010 for the Brewers. As he looks at a strike 0-2. Does not want to strike out again against his old team. Played each other 19 times. 19 games between these two clubs this season. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Lucroy can't catch up to the fastball for the second at-bat in a row. And he is retired once again. Another strikeout recorded for Steven Strasburg as Michael Chan Ho Park will stand in. With the bases empty. This guy is a total fucking bagger. He drives a Honda Civic. I think it's a 92 Honda Civic. He's definitely a September call-up. Here's the 0-1 pitch as it's lined in the left field for a base hit. Michael Park must have been pissed off after that comment. He keeps the inning alive for Chicago. For the number 9 hitter, Norman Jr. The old rusty oil can. He is pretty inept with the bat. He struck out in his last plate appearance, and he's quickly behind. He is tall and lanky, and he can't hit for shit. It's a point that I'm going to reiterate time and time again. Park with decent speed out at first, as Norman chops one to third. Bryant fields, and he charges. Makes the beautiful throw to retire the side. So Norman is now 0 for 2. The Cubs get nothing. To the bottom of the 5th we go. It is 3-1 Milwaukee.
Leading off for the Brewers, right fielder, Dustin Lutz.
So Dusty Lutz will lead things off in the bottom of inning number 5 for the Brew Crew. They hold a 3-1 advantage. They scored all of their runs in the first inning thanks to a home run from Jeff Reichart as Lutz stands in and looks at a pitch inside from Norman. We are now in the second half of this ball game. And there's a strike right down the middle. Must have had the red light on at the plate, regardless of where that pitch is. Here's the windup in the 1-1 pitch, and Lutz follows it off down the line and right. Hayward gives it a look. He ranges over, and he makes the catch. Wow, he covered a lot of ground to get that one. He retires Lutz, and that is the first out here in the 5th. Craig Raglan will stand in. He's 0 for 2. That batting average is sinking now to around .410. As he's behind in the count of 1-1 to start things off in his 3rd plate appearance. At his highest point, his average is up to .423 this season. It's a strike, 0-2. But when you're this late this season and have over 600 at-bats on your resume, that average isn't going to change a whole lot, even if you're in a slump. Look out as that 0-2 pitch hits him. So his on-base percentage will increase the painful way as that pitch got away from Norman Jr. He had the turn and just let that ball hit him right in the cheek, right in the ass cheek. I don't think there was any intention behind that. As Zach Davies, another former Brewer, is throwing in the Chicago bullpen. It might be an early exit from Norman Jr. as Braun stands in and looks at a strike, 0-1. Raglan, the runner at first. He got hit in the ass cheek in the last at-bat. And Braun is now behind in the count 0-2. He's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles. And here's number 70 of the game from Norman as this is hit in the air. This is deep to left center field, or right center field, and it's going to be gone. A 2-run shot for Ryan Braun, number 399 in his career, gives the Brewers 2 more Badger Mutual Insurance runs. They extend their lead. It is now 5-1, and that might be it for Norm Norman Jr. Ryan Braun has just added his 57th home run of the season to his stat column, as it measures in at 397 feet on our home run tracker. He was a little bit late turning around on that fastball, but mustered enough power to send it out. He must have got a shot of testosterone right in his ass cheek before the game. Oh well, they don't test these guys anyways for substance abuse. Maybe he sniffed some coke, I don't know. Here's Norm Norman Jr. facing Jeffrey Reicherts now. Pretty boy Jefferson, as they like to call him in the dugout. First pitch is misses way outside to him. It's 1-0. He's 2 for 2 with a big 3-run homer in the first. And he looks at a pitch for a strike. The Reich looks at a strike. Isn't that funny? Base is empty with 1 down. And the 73rd pitch of the game from Norm Norman Jr. is sent in the air to left center. And this one's going to drop into the gap for a base hit. Park's going to pick it up off the wall. And Jeffrey Reicherts now has himself a double. And he is just a triple shy of the cycle in this one. That's going to be it. They're going to pull Norm Norman Jr. after a rather inauspicious start.
Your attention, please.
His starts always get hyped up, but when they don't live up to potential, it's disappointing. Unless you're playing the Brewers, and fuck it, we're gonna pound them. Zach Davies is going to come in now, a former Brewer, in his 20th appearance this season with a 3-1 record and a 2.93 earned run average through 43 innings on the mound. And Chris Bryant will stand in with an opportunity to break the single-season all-time hits record. He is tied with Ichiro at 262, and the first pitch from Davies in this ball game is high and inside. A lot of hype built up to this point. You know, Bryant doesn't feel very well, but he wants to get the record against the Cubs. So that pitch is in there for a strike. It's been 14 years since this record has been touched. Held by Ichiro Suzuki. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's on the ground as short. That's Russell fielding and throwing off balance to Rizzo at first to retire Chris Bryant. So not going to happen in this at-bat. He'll live to see another day, hopefully. And Will McBride will stand in with an RBI opportunity. Jeff Reichart standing 180 feet away at second. Davies works from the stretch right out of the bullpen. And the first pitch is lined to short. That's Russell again on the backhand. Makes a beautiful throw. Has all day to do it to retire McBride. But the Brewers add 2 more runs on the board, thanks to the 2-run shot from Juice Bag, the Hebrew Hammer Ryan Braun. To the 6th we go. It is 5-1 Brewers. So the top of the lineup will lead things off for Chicago in the 6th against Strasburg. It is Jason Hayward. He's looking for his first hit in this affair, as this one is lined down the left field side and foul. And the fan actually caught it. Wow, someone actually was on their phone staring at fucking Facebook. Haha. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's a strike from Strasburg, 0-2. He's not messing around. That pitch was right down Wisconsin Avenue, but Hayward could not get the bat off of his moorings. Here's the 56th pitch from Strasburg, and he records another strikeout. Jason Hayward has been retired now for the 3rd time in this game, and Frank the Stank, will stand in 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He struck out a lot in his lifetime. He really has. Now he plays for the Cubs. What a lowly thing. As the first pitch is in the air to left, Braun barely has to move. He hasn't gotten much action out there. I think that's his first catch in the game.
First baseman number 44.
So he records the putout. Anthony Rizzo will stand in. He's pretty much been the all offense for the Cubs. Hit a towering shot to right back in the 4th inning. Comes in with the bases empty. And that's a strike. 0-1. He has 112 runs batted in up to this point. As you can hear, the chants of overrated filtering their way through Miller Park. He turns around and pops this one a mile high in the infield. Jeff Reikarts comes in and makes the catch on the infield grass in front of second to retire the inning, retire the side. 5.5 complete from Milwaukee. 5-1 Brew Crew. So Zach Davies will return on the mound for Chicago, and Daryl Terrell is his first challenge here in the bottom of the 6th. And he starts off his third at bat by looking at a curveball low. Ball and no strikes on the 19-year-old Daryl Terrell. And this one is sent in the air to left. And it's Michael Park, who barely has to move, makes the catch for the first out. And that's how things get going in the 6th. And Orlando Arcia will stand in. He's 0 for 2. Now, he has put up very respectable numbers as he looks at a strike. Hitting .328, 18 homers, and 76 runs batted in heading into this appearance. But his numbers get lost in the shuffle and on this offense. I mean, the numbers that this Brewer team have put up are just phenomenal. I don't think they'll be challenged unless they break the record next season, as Arcia looks at a ball. Count is back to even at 1. And Davies quickly turns around and fires a pitch in the inside part of the plate, and Arcia turns around and fouls it off. There's the 1-2 pitch now, and it's outside. We're back to even, 2-2. No one has left this contest, even though it's not the closest contest between these two teams. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and Arcia shoots one right to third base. Another line drive speared by Michael Franco down there. That's the second one off the bat of Orlando. So the number 8 hitter is retired, and Steven Strasburg will stand in for the third time. Not sure if he's going to make it through another rotation in this lineup as we approach the latter stages of this game. Strasburg is 1 for 2. He had a single off of Norm Norman Jr. earlier in the contest. The 29-year-old Brewers ace. He signed a big contract heading into the 2017 season, as he's behind in the count 0-2. This very well could be his last regular season start in the Brewer uniform, as there's been grumblings of him getting traded in the offseason to make room for all these prospects that the Brewers have filtering through their minor league system, as Strasburg was tempted to swing at that pitch, but he corrals it. Ball and 2 strikes now on Strasburg. Here's the pitch. And he sends one right back up the middle for a base hit. So Strasburg is now 2 for 3. He's helping his own cause as he delivers another 2-out single right up the box. Zach Davies is trying to get him to chase that curveball, tailing to the outside part of the plate, but Strasburg kept his hands in check long enough to just shoot that one right over the middle. That was good timing on that pitch, so he's 2 for 3, and Dusty Lutz will stand in for the 4th time in this ball game. First pitch is tapped foul. That was a changeup, a very deceptive pitch. Davies has a lot of motion in his delivery, and it's hard to keep track of where the ball is as he tails his way through his motion as he misses on that pitch. Count is even at 1 to Dusty Lutz. And 1-1 pitch is fouled off once again. Now 1-2 on the 25-year-old Brewers right fielder. Has the strongest arm on the team. He's got an absolute gun out there. The 1-2 pitch is lifted in the air to center, and there's Joe Sterling to make the catch to retire the side. So the Brewers get a base hit thanks to Steven Strasburg, but they can't capitalize. To the 7th we go. Sterling, Franco, and Russell. Their club is down by 4. It's 5-1. Take a look at the line score as we play the top of the 7th inning. Steven Strasburg has 7 strikeouts so far through 6 solid innings. He's allowed just 3 hits. One of them was a solo shot from Anthony Rizzo.
Sterling.
And one of them was from a triple off the bat of this man, Joe Sterling, standing in. Leads things off in the 7th, and the first pitch is on the ground to Terrell at short. Routine makes the throw in time, and it's a one pitch out to get things going for Steven Strasburg in the top of the 7th.
Third baseman, Michael Franco.
Well, Sterling is now 1 for 3. He's retired once again, and Michael Franco will stand in now. And he'll look at a strike.
0-1.
That is the one bugaboo in this Cubs lineup. They do not like to take a lot of pitches. They swing at everything. They keep pitch counts fairly low for opposing starters out there, as Franco is aggressively swinging at that fastball and fouls it back. So take a look at Strasburg's pitching line. He has just 4 balls thrown in this entire game. That's the same amount of balls that Carlos Martinez threw in his perfect game just a few nights ago against Pittsburgh. 0-2 pitch is sent on the ground to Bryant. Nice little spear over there and a nice throw to first. Retires his counterpart at third. So Franco is gone, and Addison Russell will stand in. 0 for 2. He flew out back in inning number 5. Just 63 pitches through 6 2/3 for Mr. Strasburg, as this pitch is over for a strike to Addison Russell. 0-1. He's had a lot of tough hops out there playing at short. A lot of line drives, but he's done a good job defensively. Swing and a miss. 0-2. At the plate, he's had some different fortunes out there looking for his first hit. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Strasburg, and Russell is going to collect his first hit of the ball game as he shoots a curveball over the head of his counterpart Darryl Terrell at short. And almost as a little bit of foreshadowing there, talking about his struggles at the plate. He did a good job of turning around on that curveball. Not a ton of pop behind it, but it finds the hole out there, shallow. As the catcher Lucroy will stand in now with 2 down. And look at a strike. He's 0 for 2. He struck out in his previous 2 plate appearances. His average has dipped to .319 now. Might see him get some rest in this series as both teams prepare for the playoffs. As this pitch is in the air to right, Lutz ranges over and makes the catch. And that's going to be it for things in the 7th. Top of the 7th. Time to get up and stretch them out here from Miller Park. Better get a Schaefer Light. They're closing it pretty soon. 5-1 Brewers.
Leading off for the Brewers, center fielder
The number 2 hitter,
Redmond.
Craig Ragland, will lead things off for Milwaukee in the 7th. He's batting from the left side now for the first time in this game, facing the righty Zach Davies. He's ahead in the count 1-0, and Davies drops a curveball on him. I think he had the red light on. Wasn't swinging no matter what. As this pitch is lifted in the air to left, it's shallow, but Park ranges over. He had to cover some ground there. He ranged over to his left to make the catch, and Ragland is retired. And that's going to bring up Ryan Braun. He hit a 2-run shot in his last at-bat. That was the 4th and 5th runs of the game up to this point. He's 3 for 3. He had 2 singles in his previous 2 at-bats. As he looks at a pitch low, he's 1 home run away from 400 in his career, now playing his 12th season. As he shoots one up the middle, that's a base hit right in front of the glove of Joe Sterling. So Ryan Braun has himself a 4-hit ball game, 4 for 4 now.
First baseman number 23.
That pitch just caught too much of the plate.
Jefferson.
I think that was just a mislocation from Mr. Zach Davies. But when you're facing a hitter like Ryan Braun, you can't leave a pitch in that location. Jeff Reichertz will stand in now. Hit a 3-run homer back in the 1st that gave the Brewers the lead. So they've been leading this entire contest, basically. It's their division rival, the Chicago Cubs. I'm sure these 2 teams will be meeting in the playoffs. They did it in the last 2 seasons, and the Brewers came out on top each time. Pitch is high on Reichart. It's 0-1. Davies has done a decent job eating up some innings. As this pitch is hit in the air to left field again. And deep. And this one is gone. Another opposite field bomb for Jeff Reichart. Extends the Brewers' lead now by 6 runs. It is 7-1 Crew. I was just talking about how Zach Davies has done a good job of eating up some innings in the Cubs bullpen, but he hung that one, and Reichardt's turned around on it for his 53rd home run of the season. That one was actually deeper than the home run that he hit back in the first. That one measures in at 409 feet. He hasn't been able to get ahead on any of these fastballs to be able to drive it to right, but just the sheer power, he's just been able to pop it down the left field line and send it out. That was another no-doubter. Well, Chris Bryant stands in with a chance to break the Major League record. And on the first pitch, he sends one in the air to central. That's Sterling under it. He's going to make the catch, and you can tell that Bryant is pressing out there a little bit. He had a base hit earlier in this game to tie Ichiro's mark, but just has not been able to break it up to this point. He should get one more opportunity in this game. Will McBride stands in, and on the first pitch sends one in the air to center. In a similar location, Sterling will make the catch to retire the side, but not before the Brewers score 2 more runs thanks to another bomb from Jeff Reichart. A 2-run homer extends the Brewers' lead to 7-1 through 7. Michael Park will get things going in the Cubs half of the 8th inning. This very well could be the last inning of play for Steven Strasburg. Nothing doing in that Brewers bullpen, though. So it might be his affair to finish, but I figure they want to get some work out there for the bullpen guys before they get cold. First pitch is fouled off down the left field line, 0-1 to Michael Park. Quick set and turn around, and the 0-1 pitch is sent into right field. This is going to drop for another base hit. Into the right field corner, Lutz picks it up off the bounce, and Michael Park has his second hit of the game. This time it's a double. Well, he singled back in inning number 5 to left, and now he turns around on that Strasburg fastball. He just goes with it and shoots it down the line and right for a rare opposite field double. Michael Brantley is going to get a pinch hit opportunity now in the number 9 spot, so that's going to spell the end for Zach Davies in this ball game. Brantley, the normal everyday left fielder for Chicago, still getting an opportunity to play in this one. Not sure if he's going to come in defensively as part of the double switch, but he follows the first pitch off, 0-1. His counterpart is 180 feet away at second base, looking to drive him in, as this one's on the ground to short. That's Darryl Terrell to make the play for the first out. So So Brantley is retired, not McBride.
Right fielder, Jason Hayward.
Jason Hayward will stand in. He's 0 for 3. Struck out back in the 6th. Michael Park at second, looking to drive in a run. Cubs haven't had much going for him on offense so far. Just 5 hits off of Strasburg as the first pitch misses high. 1-0 to the 30-year-old Cubs right fielder. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's a line foul that was off the railing for the camera well. Count is back to even at 1. Still nothing doing in the Brewers bullpen. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and this one's lined into center field for a base hit. Park's around third. He's going to score. The Cubs add another run. It is now 7-2, thanks to the RBI single off the bat of Jason Hayward. He collects his first hit in the game, and now things are going to be stirring in the Brewers bullpen as Giovanni Gallardo and Fernando Rodriguez begin to throw down there. Obviously not a save situation up to this point with a 5-run lead as we play the 8th. As Frank the Stank will stand in looking for his first hit of the game. As he looks at the pitch inside, but it catches, it's a strike. And for Jason Hayward, that was his 88th run batted in this season. So just a lot of offense being generated by this Cubs team. This pitch is hit foul down the line and left. Braun is chasing after it, but it's going to drop. And it's 0-2 on yeah, Frank Stankiewicz. Working quickly at Strasburg. 0-2 pitch is reared back and thrown right past Stank as he strikes out again. That's the third strikeout in the game for Frank the Stank. He is now 0 for 4. And the number 2 spot in the Cubs lineup has been absolutely shut down up to this point. I'm not sure if he's going to get another opportunity to hit, and I'm not sure if I care. Anthony Rizzo will stand in with 2 down now. Hit a big home run back in inning number 5. This pitch is over for a strike, 0-1 to Anthony Rizzo. That was actually the 4th inning when he hit that solo shot. His average is just 2 count errors below 300 at 298. Hayward the runner at first, and Rizzo looks at a strike. And is quickly 0-2. Hayward delivered an RBI single for the Cubs to make it a 7-2 game here in the 8th. And the 0-2 pitch is hit foul. That was a little fisticuffs that broke Rizzo's bat. We'll do it again as he grabs another piece of lumber. From the stretch, Strasburg checks the runner. Hayward doesn't have a lot of speed out there. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he fouls it off again. Strasburg's pitch count is still very manageable at just 82 through 7 2/3 plus. Rears back and fires the 0-2 pitch to Rizzo, and he swings and misses. Another strikeout recorded for Strasburg, and most likely his final out recorded in this ball game. Cubs get a base hit. They shrink the deficit a little. To the bottom of the 8th we go. It is 7-2 Brewers, with the bottom half of the lineup set to lead things off.
Attention, please. Now pitching for Chicago, number 18.
So the right-hander Tyler Chatwood is going to come out and pitch for the Cubs in his 6th game this season, part of the September call-ups. He's pitched well in a minimal amount of playing time, just 5 1/3 innings pitched up to this point. As Darryl Terrell will stand in. He's 0 for 3 in this game. And on the first pitch, he sends one to Central, and Sterling makes the catch out there. He's gotten a lot of work out in center field, so Terrell is quickly retired. And I don't think Bryant's going to get another opportunity to bat here in this game, so might have to save number 263 for another day, unless his flu gets worse and he can't play. But you figure he wants to own the records by himself. He wants to stand alone from all the company out there. The company being Ichiro Suzuki, as Orlando Arcia stands in. He's 0 for 3. Actually, the pitcher spot has been the most effective spot so far in the bottom half of the lineup for this Brewers team, which is normally so effective 1 through 9. Chatwood fires a strike to Arcia. He's quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch. And this one is lined in the left field for a base hit. So Arcia is off the schneid. He's now 1 for 4 thanks to that 1-out single. That's going to bring up the pitcher slot. That was just a little slider that tailed right over the middle of the plate. And Arcia did a nice job generating power through the hips and got a base hit. Eric Young Jr., EYJ, is going to grab a bat and pinch hit for Milwaukee.
Number 24.
He's been on this major league club basically all season, getting a rare opportunity to start, but he is a huge speed threat coming off the bench, and he has been used on a lot of pinch run opportunities. Double play depth for the Cubs with 1 down, and Eric Young Jr., the 33-year-old, looks at a strike, 0-1. He's been in the big leagues for 9 or 10 years now to this point, and this one is a little blooper into center field for a base hit. So you hit them where they ain't, and you're going to get aboard. Just a little fisticuff swing over short. Sterling had no chance to make that catch. He got jammed on that inside fastball, but he reaches regardless on a base hit. So speed on the base paths now as Dusty Lutz's spot in the lineup. The leadoff spot is going to come up, but they're going to pinch hit for Lutz, and Kirk Neuenhuis, Robert Goulet, is going to grab a bat. Now you're starting to see some of the scrubs get some playing time. And Neuenhuis's last pinch hit appearance, he got a base hit. And he begins his at-bat by looking at a pitch high and outside for a ball from Tyler Chatwood. Young at first, Arcia at second, and the 1-0 pitch to Neuenhuis is fouled off. Ball and a strike now on the Brewers' backup outfielder. Does not get a lot of playing time. That one's hit foul. Just could not hold back on that curveball. He's got a home run recorded this season, 5 runs batted in. Pitch misses outside, and the count is back to even at 2. Hitting .250. It's respectable off the bench. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Neuenhuis, and that one misses outside. So he works the count full off the bench, and Craig Ragland will stand in next. Unless he hits into a double play or something funky happens out there on the field. The full count offering now to Kirk Neuenhuis is inside. So he works the walk off the bench. That's a good way to improve your OBP. The easy way. And the bases are going to be loaded. And they're going to pinch hit for Craig Ragland as well. And coming off the bench is going to be Neil Walker. Not normally an outfielder, but he's going to bat regardless. He's a switch hitter along with Ragland. I think they're just trying to get these guys some playing time up to this point, and that's a good opportunity for him to drive some runs in. In a 7-2 game, the bases are loaded, and the first pitch to Neil Walker is outside, 1-0. He's got 384 at-bats coming into this game, so he's gotten a fair amount of playing time. Playing in a platoon role with Arcia as Walker shoots one in the air to center field, and Sterling ranges back to make the catch. Tagging and scoring is going to be Orlando Arcia. So Neil Walker has himself a sacrifice fly and an RBI to extend the Brewers' lead to 6 once again. It is now 8-2 Milwaukee, with Ryan Braun due next. Luckily, Sterling has pretty good range out there in center field. Otherwise, that ball would have gotten down and potentially cleared the bases. So Braun will stand in now with 2 down and 2 runners aboard. And look at a strike 0-1. He's 4 for 4 in this game. Hit a home run, tallying his career mark up to 399 now. And this pitch is lined up the middle for a base hit. EYJ's around third. He's going to score easily thanks to his speed. Ryan Braun has a 5 RBI, or he has a 5-hit game and a 3 RBI game to go on top of it, as Milwaukee extends their lead now to 9-2. Just a little 2-out single is enough to score the speedy Eric Young Jr. Now Jeffrey Reicherts will stand in. He's got 2 home runs to his name in this game. And on the first pitch, he hits it on the ground to Stank at second, and that's going to do it. Chris Bryant will not get an opportunity to bat in this game unless the Cubs score 7. They are down 9-2 as we head to the 9th.
Your attention, please.
A couple of defensive changes to tell you about. Kirk Neuenhuis is going to stay in the game and play in right field, replacing Dusty Lutz. Neil Walker, the normal second baseman, is going to play in central, getting some rare opportunity out in the field. And Fernando Rodriguez is going to come in and finish things up for the Crew. He's pitched in 42 games this year. ERA just a tick over 4 at 4.06. And Joe Sterling will stand in 1 for 3 with a triple to his name. So here's the first pitch from the 33-year-old relief pitcher Fernando Rodriguez, and it's a strike to get things going to the 24-year-old Cubs center fielder. Here's the 0-1 pitch now to Sterling. and it's hit foul. That's a tough pitch to catch up on. Rodriguez has a slow delivery to the plate, but he has a lot of velocity on his pitches, and they catch up on you quick. Sterling is going to strike out looking. He's retired to get things going in the ninth for the Cubs. One man up, one man down. Michael Franco will stand in now looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3. Grounded out in his last plate appearance as the fans are standing up here at Miller Park. Brewers looking for their 122nd win this season to extend the Major League record right there. First pitch is inside on Michael Franco. Here's Fernando Rodriguez working. The 0-1 pitch is hit foul on the right field line. We'll do it again. Here's the 1-1 pitch now. And he sends it foul down the right field line. Can't catch up to that fastball. 95 from Fernando Rodriguez, the former Oakland A. Was acquired in the offseason. Here's the 0-2, and Franco sends one in the air. This one's deep to left. Braun ranging back towards the track. Makes the catch, sticks his glove up, and robs Michael Franco of extra bases for out number 2. 26 outs have been recorded now for this Brewers pitching staff, and this Cubs ball game is now going to be up to Addison Russell. That was a great catch from Ryan Braun to rob Michael Franco. Just stuck his glove up, covered a lot of ground. Franco's frustrated out there. Addison Russell will stand in now. He is the last hope for this Cubs offense and for this Cubs team. As this pitch misses high, it's a ball and no strikes. Russell is 1 for 3. He singled in his last at-bat. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's lined up the middle for a base hit. Walker's going to pick it up off the bounce, and Addison Russell has delivered. He keeps this ball game alive for the Cubs. So it's not going to be an unscathed inning for Fernando Rodriguez, as Jonathan Lucroy is looking to kickstart something for this Cubs team with 2 down in the ninth. He's had a rough game so far, striking out 2 times. Rodriguez from the stretch, and he fires a strike. Crowd of 44,517 in attendance at Miller Park. Some standing, some aren't. Here's the 0-1 pitch now to Lucroy, and he sends it foul 0-2. Cubs down to their final strike tonight. Rodriguez from the stretch. Here it is. And he shoots it foul down the left field line, and we'll do it again. Lucroy looking for his first hit in the game. Cubs down 9-2, down to their final strike. From the stretch, here's the 0-2 pitch again from Rodriguez, and Lucroy sends it foul, staying alive out there. Not making things easy for Fernando Rodriguez. He's thrown 13 pitches now here in inning number 9. From the stretch, here's the 0-2 pitch again to Lucroy, and he hits it on the ground to second. That's Orlando Arcia picking and firing, and this one is over. Brewers get the victory 9-2 over their division foes, the Chicago Cubs. They take the first game here in this series, this final series of 2018. Back with the totals and summaries after this on the Brewers Radio Network. Well, we're back here in Milwaukee. The Brewers get the win 9-2. Steven Strasburg gets his 20th win. He improves to 20-5. Norman Jr. drops to 14-9 on the season. For the victorious Brewers, they record 9 runs on 15 hits and play a clean defensive ball, no errors. And for the Cubs, they record 2 runs on 7 hits and no errors.
They left 5 men on base.
Steven Strasburg gets the win once again. He improves to 20-5. He pitched to 8 innings, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits, and struck out 9 Chicago Cub hitters. Norm Norman Jr. gets the loss. He drops to 14-9. He pitched 4 1/3, gave up 5 earned runs, 9 hits, and struck out just 1 batter. That was Will McBride. Ryan Braun is going to be your player of the game. He went 5 for 5 in this matchup with a home run and 3 runs batted in. Jeff Reichardt's, you could also make a case for him. He went 4 for 5, hit 2 home runs, a double, and brought in 5. So another impressive offensive performance for the Milwaukee Brewers in this game lead to a 9-2 win. Chris Bryant ties Ichiro Suzuki's mark at 262 hits. Not sure if he can do it next game or the game after, but we'll see. I mean, you got a report from the clubhouse that he has not been feeling well. He just Ralph Nader bagged it again. So we're not sure if he's going to play tomorrow or the rest of this season. Regular season, at least. Well, stay tuned until next time. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring you the broadcast where Chris Bryant gets that record-breaking hit, if he gets the opportunity to do so. If he plays, then I will bring you the broadcast, but if not, we will see you in the postseason. Once again, the final score, the Brewers win this one over the visiting Chicago Cubs, 9-2. Until next time, peace out. Get out of here.